Hi guys, welcome to the first H&H podcast. I'm here with the lovely Ayden from Valley Girl Market.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here.
I know, I'm so excited. This has been in the works for a little bit
A
and
minute.
it's so exciting to finally be
I
here.
know.
This is both of our first times, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so bear with us while we do this, but yeah, I'm so excited. Okay, so to get started, let's start from the beginning. Where did you get the idea for Valley Girl? What was the initial thought process when you were planning the brand? Yeah, tell me about Valley Girl. What is Valley
Yeah.
Girl?
So I had been a vendor for about 3 going on 4 years before I started Valley Girl. I just noticed that, and a lot of vendors can kind of attribute to this as well. When you sign up for events, it's kind of like it's a risk that it's an assumed risk that you're taking. That it's like either they promote it really well, maybe they have a good following and they don't have to promote it as well. Processes, where am I going? Who is the organizer? Where are we parking? Like all of that stuff was really something that I noticed was inconsistent through the markets that I had gone to. And I've gone from tiny pop ups to like some of the biggest markets in the valley. And it seems like there was just something missing there. I think it's really true when you hear that markets that are run by vendors, you can tell because they really are like for the vendors. They make it easy for the vendors
Right.
versus someone who's never had to go through the process themselves and kind of just like assuming, okay, this is what I think we're supposed to do. So I think I started just to build a better system. I feel like at Valley Girl, we're constantly trying to innovate the ways that we communicate with our vendors and promote and all of that good stuff. I mean, we do hours long photo shoots.
Yes.
We are running around Old Town. We are just like constantly trying to come up with stuff of like, how can we make this better? How can we reach a broader audience? How can we just like connect with those our Valley girls, honestly, and make it more of like a community that you want to be a part of versus just like, oh, it's a monthly market. Like we can just go to the market, buy stuff, and then we'll be back next month. Like we want it to be a lifestyle, and I think that's what was missing in like the small business community. So that and just like I'm all like I was in my early 20s. I just turned 24, but
Yeah.
I was like super early 20s when I started as a small business owner, and there was nothing out there that was really catered towards younger girls.
Yep.
I think in Arizona it's very family based.
Yep.
But a lot of us like don't resonate with that because like I don't have babies, my friends don't have babies. Like
Right.
we're all still in our like party girl go out,
Right.
like deal with it the next day phase. So I think there needed to be like a third space for that where younger girls can go hang out, still support small business, get your coffee, get your matcha, get like
Yeah.
a good Pilates burn in. So I think that's kind of where Valley Girl started was just like a market
Yeah.
for like the younger demographic.
And you're still really young, which is awesome that you've built such a great brand and it's still growing at
Yeah.
so young.
I'm super
Like you're ahead of the game, which is amazing. What moment made you realize like this is bigger than markets though? Because I do feel like your brand is more than that, like you said. So when did it click for you that like you wanted it to be more than just a market?
I think when organically my friends started being like, oh, this is very Valley Girl. Like that is like, I feel like that's a key term that a lot of people use now.
Yay.
Especially like when they're just like looking at stuff, whether it's decorations and all of that. I've gotten texts where I get pictures of like, oh my God, this would fit Valley Girl's aesthetic. Like there's a
Like Valley Girl coded
yeah,
vibes.
yeah. Like there's, and it's very easy to fall into that because it's girly,
Yeah.
it's like fresh, it's pink, it's like all of that stuff. So it's a very easy thing to categorize. But I really do think that I saw it shift from just being a market to kind of like something that people resonate with when it's like, this is very Valley Girl. Oh, that was so Valley Girl. That was like,
Right.
All
Yeah.
of that good stuff. So
Yeah. And I know you described the brand as like really fun, really pink, really girly, but who is the Valley Girl? Like, what does she have on her notes? What is she wearing? How is she walking into a room? What are her goals? Like, who is the Valley Girl, would you say?
I think that kind of goes into the question of like, what does it mean to be a Valley Girl? I think in a broad sense, when you think like, oh, Valley Girl, it has kind of a negative connotation to it. But like, I feel like in an essence of being like every woman you've ever met, take their positive, characteristics and just become kind of like a museum of every woman you've ever loved, and that is a Valley Girl.
I love that.
Yeah.
There's definitely like a girlhood behind it. And with that being said, just like girl vibes everywhere. I know sometimes we could be very unhinged.
Yeah.
So if Valley Girl were to have a reality TV show, what would be one of the moments that was just like iconic, unhinged that you could remember?
Oh my gosh. I feel like that's always been like a content idea of mine, is like I want people to be mic'd up. Like,
Yeah.
there's the drama, there's the tears, like happy tears, sad tears, like the blood, the sweat that goes into it. Maybe when I got like the Evit spot,
Okay.
they told me no so many times. And I think people see that, and like I loved Evit. We just like outgrew it so fast. It was outside. We wanted to be indoors. There were certain things that we wanted in a venue.
Right.
But on that same day, we also had, I'm not going to name names. I know who it was.
We love names.
There's going to be a lot of that in this podcast. I'm not going to name names, but if you know, you know. Someone had called the Arizona Liquor Department saying that, and it's another market coordinator, another market completely. Called that department, said that we were going to be serving alcohol when we weren't. And it was just, there were certain things that were happening that like you could tell that people didn't want this market to happen from other
organizers.
Yeah.
That is so wild to me.
Yeah, and they came out. They checked all of our vendors to see if they had alcohol. Like they're walking up to like crochet vendors, being like,
right. And my thought process
"Do you
is
have
like,
anything in here?" Like,
where did they get alcohol from?
Yeah. So they showed up. The city ended up showing up too.
Right.
So, and that was more of an educating thing than like a slap on the wrist, I guess. Yeah. Because like it would have made sense that I would have looked up like how to throw an outdoor event in Mesa or something like that. I didn't do that. I was kind of just like planning, didn't even think of it. There were a couple permits that we had our permits, but we fell short on a couple of our permits.
Right.
And so like
the things that nobody thinks about, I guess, not the like things that come to mind right off the bat.
Because I was immediately thinking like, I need all my liability insurance. I need like, you know, if anything goes wrong.
Right.
But there's so many tiny permits that people don't even realize that you need, and you just like, there's so much that goes into it. So having the liquor department show up at my first market at like 8 a.m., pulling up in like these big black
also
vans.
8 a.m. Bold. Who's having a margarita at 8 a.m.?
Insane. So like, yeah, just them like pulling up. It looked like we were just getting swarmed pulling up in these vans. They were like, "Where's the alcohol?" I'm like, "We don't have any."
Yeah.
Like, but it was just the fact that like someone was out to try to ruin it, and it just like, I think it really fueled my drive to like want to do something, because when you get pushback like that, you know you're doing something big.
I love that.
So I think that was probably my second one. But yeah.
I love that. Okay, so was there ever a moment where people didn't get it and now maybe those same people want to collab? I mean, of course, the Evit, not in the same way, but maybe they weren't like super excited at the beginning and then they did it. But in the same breath, maybe like, I don't know, vendors or businesses that you had been reaching out maybe for partnerships, collaborations, and now they're the ones in your DMs.
Yeah. It's happened a lot to us actually, and I think it gets to the point where they see the success that it has,
right?
And they want their like slice. They don't even know I was in their DMs when we were at like 2,000 followers, or
right?
Like that. Or not even that. Like I was messaging big people with like 500 followers, and like
I love that.
No events under my belt, nothing. It was just like the sheer like the delusion of it, but like just the confidence of like if it doesn't happen today, it'll happen tomorrow, or you know, maybe not then, but next year or the year after that. So I obviously understand that it takes more credibility to work with bigger brands, but a couple of brands that we've worked with that I'm super proud of is like we just wrapped up like 2 events with Reformed. That was super fun. The Pilates on the patio. I wanted to do that for a really long time. Even I wanted to do that. Message them. They didn't even open my message. Like it was probably lost in requests and all that. But as soon as we moved to Scottsdale and we really got stuff going, brands were there in our DMs like constantly. It's just like, how are we going to integrate you into
the Valley Girl brand?
Like how are we going to make it like mutually beneficial? So we do have a lot of partnerships like lined up for 2026. I needed more time. I needed more space.
Yes.
And just like more collaboration on like how is this gonna benefit the Valley Girls? How are we going to like take this like big brand and make it feel like local, small business, very like customer oriented, because that's kind of the basis that we're trying to go for. Anybody can put a big brand in there and throw a tent up and call it a day, but like we want it to be very interactive to the point where the girls feel more connected with not only Valley Girl but whatever brand we're planning to work with.
Yeah, I love that. That's actually so smart because, like you said, Valley Girl started with the idea of vendors and small businesses. So it is a tricky thing of like thinking what big partnerships you want to integrate and like how does that messaging doesn't mud the original philosophy of it all, you know?
There's like a tight line that you have to walk. And if it doesn't, you know, because then if you get too many big brands in there, you know, you look, you know, just to be very blunt, you look like a sellout.
Yep.
And then if, you know, they do too well or they shadow the smaller businesses, then what are you even doing it for in the first place at that point?
Right. But it's important to have both, right? Yeah. Because it helps also the small businesses when you bring big brands. So yeah, it's a very tricky thing, but I think you're doing it really well.
I'm really excited for next year. Like we have a couple of partnerships lined up and I think it's going to be so fun.
Okay, awesome. Well, that's my next question. What are some of the brands that you're really, really excited to work with going forward or manifesting?
Yeah. Maybe because I don't think I'm supposed to talk about it just yet.
Okay.
But I can list off a couple and some of them, I won't specifically say the ones that we already have.
Okay. Yes. Nothing that's in the works.
Yeah. So I think one, I've always been like a Lonely Ghost fan. I have a ton of their hoodies. Cute. Like I've had them since like India was part of the brand. I'm still like a supporter now because I just love their designs. They just got a store up in Scottsdale too.
Yes.
So that's super fun. Dutch Bros would be so cool. God, yeah. I think that would be really, really fun. Like have them at the bar.
Yes.
Inside at Clayton.
They're very community, I would say. Like their brand is community based. Yeah, they're more of a corporation, but they're really good about keeping that sense of community.
Yeah, I think so too. So I think they would be a really fun one. State 48 is one that I've had my eye on for a while. I just really like it's just so like Arizona based. Like that is what they are all about. And they're built on like giving back to the community, small businesses, like all of that good stuff. So I really want to work with them one day.
We'll leave it at that. That way we don't spill too many secrets.
Good, because I was going to keep going. I was like, wait.
No, don't tell me everything. Okay, awesome. So now let's be honest about a few things. Who would you say in Arizona is sleeping on Valley Girl right now?
That's a good question. I think we're definitely getting to the point where people are, it's just getting out there. It's just getting to where, you know, your reach is good, not only in social, you know, on our analytics, social media wise, because I think a lot of people kind of look at that as like the heavy lifting of like, oh, if we get X amount of views on our profile, like, you know how that whole dashboard looks.
Conversion.
Yeah. But I think getting out in real life and really making connections with those shoppers and all of that stuff, I don't think necessarily anybody is like sleeping on it. But once you figure it out, you're like, oh, this is something. Right. You know, eventually, like we've talked about before, want to make it into like a movement. That's why we're starting Valley Girl Times and all of that good stuff. Yeah. So I think
we'll talk about more later.
I'm really excited to talk about that. But I think once you find it and you find the community that comes with it, it's like this makes sense. I want to be here. I want to spend my hard-earned money here. I want to spend my time. Like, not everybody has Sundays off. Not everybody has that time to go. But the people that do go, I think really leave with like a good experience and just like feel good about either their purchases or the way that they spent their time or anything, because they know that this is supporting the people of the community. Yes. Not just, you know, you can go to Scottsdale Fashion, you can do all of that stuff, and it's probably going to mean something to someone, but the immediate, like, I buy something from you, and you get that gratification of like, I worked hard for this, and like, this is now my customer, my client, and now we're like, it just goes past the transactional portion of it.
Totally. So yeah. Love that. And I will say, I think that for the first part, because for those of you who don't know, I'm also a vendor at Valley Girl Markets. we were moving around in a few cities. And so that also gave reach into different cities that maybe people were closer to or whatever the case may be. But I do love Scottsdale. I feel like that is, it feels like home for Valley
It makes
Girl.
sense, I think, especially with like the brand and all of that. Being Gilbert was really fun. Love our Gilbert girls. But like, I think Scottsdale is just, it's in the middle of everything.
Yeah.
It's walkable. We have more parking.
Yes, so important.
Which is, you wouldn't think it is, but it is. And it's just like logistics wise, it helps us out a lot being in Scottsdale, but it just like the aesthetic of it, the vibes of it, just like, it just feels very Valley Girl, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, so now let's talk business. Do you feel like people are trying to copy your aesthetic and maybe missing the message?
Oh, goodness. I think that Valley Girl has a very distinct way that we present ourselves. And I can see that being very appealing to other people. Maybe it's really tough because you will see, even just like in our business, like markets in general. Like I said earlier, like it was kind of, there was nothing in Arizona that was catering more towards like younger people, you know, all of that good stuff. Sometimes you go to markets and like there is a very clear difference between well organized, well curated, put on markets and ones that aren't. So like you could go to some and it just looks like a swap meet. Like there's Amazon or drop shipped, and you can tell when it's not like technical, like
Curated.
small business. I think at Valley Girl we do our due diligence over and over and over again every time we look at these businesses to make sure that it is like handmade, or you know, if you didn't hand make it, are you doing something to provide value in this like purchase that a customer gets,
Right.
you know, and some markets you go to and it's like the same thing over and over and over again every other booth. So really we really try to, down to like our vendor map, the flow of our market, try to make sure that's a very easy transition between products, and because that sets up, you know, our businesses better. It sets up our vendors to have a nicer experience, a more, I guess you could say, like they left feeling like they didn't come here for no reason.
Right.
Or just like, oh, this was confusing. This was like not enough. This was too much. But I think where a lot of people fall short is that messaging of you want it to be the best for your vendors, for your shoppers, and just like anybody else who, you know, even the people who come to the market and help out. But yeah, I think there are some things that are trying to be copied, which is fine. We're going to continue to innovate and we're going to continue to set the bar and all of that good stuff. You know, the little stuff like doesn't make the market. It's how you let people leave feeling after the market.
Agreed. And speaking of vendors, what kind of vendors can people find at Valley Girl? What kind of businesses or products or?
Yeah. I really love having like a variety of women's boutiques. That's always fun. The thrift has been really fun for me because I wasn't really into like thrifting or vintage or anything. I know. I wasn't educated on like how important it is.
Yeah.
But I think like from women's boutiques to, I just told this to a vendor last market, people who do like the ceramics, like clay and all that, have my heart because one, it's so hard. It is so hard to do. So like props to you. I mean, everything from crochet to like our food vendors. We have these, this food vendor who does like fried potatoes.
Oh my God, I love him so
I know.
much.
I know, they're so good.
His bulgogi one.
I know. So good. But from like them to matcha, like coffee, obviously that comes up, baked goods. I mean, it's everything.
Yeah.
What I'm really proud of is our service-based businesses that we have. I think that's been kind of a staple for Valley Girl that you don't see at a lot of markets. So we have piercings, permanent jewelry, tattoos. But then at the next market, we're going to have like mini facials.
Oh, cute.
Someone doing brows, color analysis to see like what season you are, like
Love
what
that.
are your
I've been wanting
best
to get
colors.
one.
I
Yeah.
know. She did mine, and I've been really trying to like transition. I didn't notice you just don't notice a change like that until someone shows you like a comparison.
What are you?
I think I'm a warm autumn. I think that's what it was.
That's what you're wearing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm really trying to like make that change, but like you would never know that if you didn't go get your colors done.
I don't want to get told that pink isn't my color.
I know.
That would be heartbreaking.
They told me, honestly, that like the baby pink isn't doesn't suit me very well.
What about gold and silver? What are you?
They said I was right in the middle.
Okay,
They
so
said
that's
that. So like, thank God, because I mix all my stuff.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, it was honestly eye-opening because there were colors that I've put on myself. I'm like, oh, this isn't great. But they showed me a different tone. And I was like, wait, maybe I could wear this color, just not in, the super bright hues of it. Okay, cool. But yeah, that's something that a shopper can leave with like more value than just their product. I'm obviously going to leave with a bunch of products anyway. Like they're going to, they are going to be lined on my arms, like the bags.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Cute. Okay, so what is the hardest part about building a brand that everyone suddenly has an opinion on? I'm hitting. It's getting hotter. The questions are gonna get. Yeah,
I know.
Everyone. It's not just obviously like customers, vendors, because I feel like vendors are really quick to compare. Yeah. I did this market. I did that market. Maybe even family. Now they have an opinion on your business that you've been building for a while, or friends. I don't know.
Yeah. This is something that like I have had to come to terms with. It's really tough because everybody has their own opinion on what like Valley Girl should look like. I think the moves that we've made have definitely been beneficial based on a couple of like opinions and all of that good stuff. Logistics wise is always something that you need to look for. Vendors' opinions are very valuable.
Totally.
I don't think all vendor opinions are valuable, but it's, it gets to a point, but like our move to Scottsdale made sense 100%. If your opinion makes sense for the brand, we're more than willing to like listen to it.
Right.
But I think Valley Girl, like as a whole, we did kind of go through a transition like earlier in the year where we were trying to change our branding and we were trying to fit something that like we weren't necessarily growing into. And maybe look like a little bit more professional, tried to get like, we tried to get branding, did an amazing job. The graphic designer that we worked with did amazing. She was incredible. It was just like, but we were trying to be more polished, more professional, more like trying to make ourselves like seem older than we are. But like honestly, when we started posting and we started getting like our vendors, a lot of our vendors are young.
Yeah.
They don't really resonate with what we were trying to go with. And that made me realize that like neither do we actually.
Right.
Like we are a little chaotic. We're gonna like, we're gonna show up to the market hungover. We are going to like, it's a business ran by early 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
But that's Valley Girl. Like it's not polished. It's not super professional. Like we're just girls.
I think that's important too, because like you said, you're listening to your demographic, and at the end of the day you're also looking at yourself, like who you are, and that is the best way to create a brand, is to be true to who you are, because you're not chasing something, you're not copying something, you're just being. And I think that that's the easiest thing to do, is just to be yourself. And
because people can see if you're not being authentic with it,
Yes, totally. And I love the kind of content we create. It's really fun. It's not so like it needs to be this.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's
exactly.
It's chaotic like us.
It's it gets to that point very often.
Fun. Yeah. Okay. What's something about running a brand like this that people totally underestimate, which I'm sure there's a lot? And then similar to that, what is the biggest misconception about running Valley Girl that you wish people could see behind the scenes?
Yeah. I think this one even kind of targets like people who maybe think that they can also run a market. Mm-hmm. We are supportive of anybody who wants to run a market, because at the end of the day, it should be, how are we benefiting the people who choose to participate with us?
Right.
How are we benefiting the small businesses that are taking their time, effort, money to set up with us, dedicate that day to be there. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people underestimate, like, obviously, you can talk about back end, you can talk about permits, logistics, getting people, building your following, like all of that stuff. But I think if you don't build your message first before you try to throw on a market or a brand or literally anything, whether you're starting a med spa, a boutique, anything, you need to have your messaging right and who you're trying to talk to and how it puts something good into the world versus just like
Doing it.
how much in like vendor fees can I collect?
Right.
How much, like all of that stuff. Because that's a hot topic. And I think a lot of people are aware of it. But how are you going to turn around and make it beneficial for not just yourself,
Yeah.
but like the people who, again, have chose to like spend this day with you in, hopes that it's going to benefit them.
Right.
So
Totally.
I think just have your messaging down, be like true and where your heart is on it.
Yeah.
And just do the absolute best you can.
Yeah.
So
Totally. I love that. Okay, cool. So now it's time to give the fans what they want. It is time for the tea.
me thinking I'm already in it.
No, those are like the business easy questions. This is
Okay.
where it gets a little juicy. Okay, so what is some vendor tea moment that lives rent free in your mind? You don't have to say names, but you may.
I think probably 2 markets ago, I put someone in a place that had a very small obstruction in front of their tent.
Okay.
And was totally understanding of like the situation, but like mind you, the obstruction is probably like that big.
I'm trying to do the math. I'm like,
I
who
know.
was
Well,
it? Where
it's
was
those
it?
It was outside of Clayton House,
Okay.
where those big posts are on the breezeway.
Okay.
And I still think about it, not because, it was a bad instance, but I feel like I maybe could have changed that vendor's like point of view of how that situation played out.
Okay.
But they ended up like not setting up. They made it all the way up to Scottsdale. They were like, peace out, I'm not setting up. And I'm like,
No way.
okay, and we have our policies. Like there's no refunds or there's no anything like this if we have a space for you. But that was definitely one of the ones that I think about often because like, what could I have done
Right.
better for them? They had somewhere to go. They had already had prior plans. If it didn't work out and they didn't do the market, they were actually okay with it.
So did it end amicably or?
We gave them like a rollover. We were like, since you didn't do this one, like we'll get you at the next one.
Okay.
And that's how a lot of our situations end up being handled. There's only been a handful of times.
Yeah.
But like as a market coordinator, like if anybody does coordinate markets, that's a big pain in the ass.
Yeah, totally.
So like just getting those vendors to, one, it was our first year. It's been our first year. We're only a year old. To just like trust us and like coming back to the market and understanding that they're going to have a good experience. Because for us, it's not just about the shopper experience, it's about the vendors too.
Right.
So I think that's something that I think about often.
Well, it says a lot about you that you still think about that and like think about how you could have done better and still want to do better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Is there a moment where you thought, okay, this person is doing like way too much? Not, it doesn't have to be vendor. It could be
Like a
shopper, or just anyone in general.
The September incident.
I was just thinking about that. I was like, oh. Yeah.
And I haven't talked like a lot about this one, but I think it will attest. We had like a couple of girls that were not necessarily, and mind you, before this, I've never had a vendor come up to me about a customer ever. I had 5 vendors come up to me within about a hour period complaining about this like one group of girls, and they were like, how Valley Girl's set up. You're all right next to each other, but you're all different businesses.
Right.
And they were like taking stuff. I think they were in your booth at one point.
I feel like when it all went down, basically they were in my booth.
I know. But we were watching, they would like take stuff from your booth and then walk across the room.
Yeah.
And go look at more stuff, still having your stuff in their hand. And then they walk to another booth, but they just kept on getting closer and closer to the exit.
Yeah.
So one of my vendors came up and was like, hey, they're like taking stuff from booths and walking away, and then they would take from another booth and walk further away still with my stuff. And so I asked them like, hey, can I have that back? And they were like, oh, we thought you were all the same business,
Yeah.
when they had already like purchased stuff in their hands.
Right.
So we had caught wind of it. We started like watching them, and they just kept on making like really weird movements and just like stuff that you know that these like small businesses have a very limited run of whatever they have.
Yeah.
If they don't make money off of that, they're losing money.
Yep.
So I had confronted them, said like, hey guys, if you're gonna try something on or you're gonna look at something, like try to just keep it within this like 10 by 10 booth. That's how we're kind of laid out. Cool. Sounds good. Squashed it, whatever. Continue to do it to the point where one of the girls in the group was wearing a pair of pants from a vendor, came up to her, was like, hey, can I buy this shirt? Bought the shirt from the vendor, goes to walk out. And she's like, can I have my pants back? And the girl was like, oh, I didn't even notice that I was like wearing them. And it's just stuff like that like we're very protective over our small businesses and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But we are going to call you out.
Yeah.
If we feel like you're trying to like steal from small businesses.
Yeah.
So that's one instance that it was like.
And those are always so hard because you never want to accuse anyone, but when it just keeps happening to the point where it's just hard.
It's making people uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Multiple people uncomfortable.
Yeah. So that's definitely one instance where I wish it never happened. It was the first time it had happened to us.
Yeah.
But to just nip it in the bud and kind of be like, make an example of like, we're not going to stand for this.
Totally.
These businesses don't deserve that.
And I'm sure they appreciated that too.
I hope so.
Yeah.
But we nipped it in the bud, so it should be good now.
Okay, good. Okay, now I have a few questions from our poll we did on Instagram because we did a little preview of that. She wasn't allowed to look at those, by the way. So one of the question is, what is the deal with the Scottsdale bribes? I don't think I know this one.
I don't think you do either.
I don't think I know this one.
We had gotten an email from like an unregistered like email. It didn't look like a professional email, basically. It had @gmail.com at the end. Mm-hmm. And so does Valley Girl, but like we're not gonna talk about that. I just haven't bought a domain. Basically saying like that they were, and I thought it was a scam at first.
Okay.
And saying that they were part of like a group that runs restaurant concepts in Old Town Scottsdale.
Okay.
And to come to find out, they were actually club concepts. So they have 4 in Old Town that are big clubs down there. They were trying to get us to basically sign the rights over from the aesthetic, the branding, the name over so that they could use it as a nightclub like concept to have like a Valley Girl bar or something. Okay. Like that, which is really fun. I mean, that's great.
A compliment.
Yeah, for sure. And then like I had respectfully declined. I was like, this is kind of just, we're trying to build something here. And the amount was getting like bigger and bigger, and you can't assume that they're actually going to pay you that amount for the rights to your stuff. But like it got to a point where it was like, we need to like calm down. Like, I don't know. It got to a point where they just really, really wanted the name, and they were just so stuck on having a bar or a club named like Valley Girl that it was a lot of money. I could have taken it and ran, but like at the same time, it just didn't feel right. This is like Valley Girl is like what we've built. And,
it's your baby, and it's also only 1 year old.
Yeah, we're getting up to $250,000.
Wow, that's crazy. Just like, well, if that's how much they were valuing it then, imagine what it could be valued at later.
And that's what I thought too.
Okay. What's another one? Do you think market creators see other market success and think it's easy to recreate, which we kind of touched on?
I did see this one reposted. I'm not gonna lie. I was looking. I know. I think yes and no. I think people see kind of what we do with Valley Girl and don't understand the work and the curation and the time and effort it takes to really like vet, who we're gonna have in this marketplace to have the vibe that we're looking for. It's not, we're not reinventing the wheel. It's nothing new. Marketplaces have been around for centuries, but I think what people don't see on like the back end is, do applications look, really similar? Does that form look really similar to Valley Girl? Where they're hosting it, how they're planning it, what they're doing, which again, we're not reinventing this stuff, but it's like when stuff starts to look really, really similar, it just gives off, I'm in it for the money grab. I'm in it for,
right.
not the right reasons. So I do think that Valley Girl gets copied a lot. But that just pushes us to continue to innovate and do new things.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The way that I think about it is like, I want to create my own fashion brand. And if I ever have dupes, I'm like, that's a compliment in the fashion industry.
Yeah.
Obviously you don't love it, but it's also like,
yeah, you're doing something right.
Yeah.
So,
okay. This question is a little punchy. Okay. Who is copying who, and are you weird about that? Which you kind of already said in a way.
I think there's a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
I think Valley Girl definitely pulls a certain demographic.
Yeah.
That is very like appealing. It's fun. The girlies are great. Like I see different like travel influencers and like all of that going to the different markets that I've seen at my market too. And it's like, I'm happy that you're choosing to support, local businesses and keep the dollar like circulated,
At the end of the day, because I feel like your philosophy is so strong and your message is so strong that it's about the vendors, it doesn't matter that there is another market that's similar because your intent is to support small businesses while still supporting your small business.
Yeah.
So I feel like that kind of evens that out, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At least for like in the marketing world, when there's a restaurant opening up and we're like, oh my God, there's another really cool restaurant opening right there. You could either think of it as like that's competition, or they're going to bring more people to the shopping center, to the street, and then they're going to see my restaurant. And people don't like to eat the same food all the time, the same way they don't like to shop or do the same exact thing all the time. Yeah. So to bounce off and feed each other and be more collaborative, I think is the way to really look at it. Yeah. At least that's.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of markets that are willing to be that way. I think each one of us kind of has our own little like niche. Some are like ours. I think our little niche that we do is like the service-based stuff. The Pilates, like just things that you can do differently. We're not big on thrift. We have, a select amount. We're not big on trinkets. We're not big on like, I know there's a lot of markets that are kind of like starting to find their niche and figure out like, what are we really good at? And I think it's just the fact of, I love seeing my vendors at other markets. Do I love that I've heard, oh, she just like cherry picked them from Valley Girl's like vendor lineup that you posted. I don't love hearing that, but also at the same time, if you throw a good market and they do well, like my vendors do well at your market, great. I'm happy for them, Yeah. I'm happy for you that your vendors are successful. Like, do what you got to do,
Yeah.
Do I think there can be like a tiny bit more originality, kind of like how we were trying to build Valley Girl in the past? Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, like you kind of said, like if something is being like recycled and reused from an idea that they've seen in the past and you just like make it your own, then you're pleasing your demographic and your customer so that they'll come back and continue to support the small businesses that are involved.
Correct. Yeah, I think so too. Okay, good. Another punchy one. This one is really specific with names. So who is the vendor you won't accept anymore? Parentheses, I hope it's not me.
I don't have a specific I don't have a specific vendor.
Or vendor type or personality type.
Like, what is the most PR safe way to answer this? I think I don't have anybody, not off the top of my head, that is really like I have my list of people that like I would put on the wait list versus like immediately like accepting them.
But what would make them get on the wait list versus?
Yeah, I think as a vendor, any market you go to, just read the emails. Like it is so easy. Just read the emails. I swear you will be our favorite vendor. And it's the people that like you can blatantly tell that like we put a lot of work into trying to make this very, very smooth. it's the people who walk up to one of the helpers at the market and are completely lost in what they're doing. If
Clearly,
it's your
you
first,
didn't read the email.
yeah, and we try, you know, there's some stuff that once you get there day of, we make some tweaks and all of that good stuff. So if you don't know where you're at because you got moved, totally fine. But it's like very simple stuff that we have to help out 100 people in the span of an hour and a half, really.
Yeah.
Help me out the best you can. Like if you don't know, like parking, like all the very simple stuff, all the like things that I don't have to say 100 times.
Yeah.
That will definitely, you know, push you back a little bit.
Totally. That makes sense. Okay. And this question is from someone that wants to know more business side. What are market strategies that has given you success with your events?
I think just being unique. We really hit it hard in the beginning with like the pink, the girly, like our first intro, our first like promo was like Love Island. When Love Island season 6, not Love Island season 7, we don't even talk about that. But Love Island was like just super big. We were using like the intro audio and all of that. So just find stuff that will make you different, will stand out in, you know, the market that you're in. There's got to be an issue. There's got to be somewhere that everybody's missing the mark, whatever. But if you don't see it, create the thing that you wish was like, was a thing. And I think just like constantly innovating, constantly figuring out how can I make this better? How can I make this different? How can I make this easier for my customer? Because really like people aren't buying from you. They're not buying from your brand. They're buying to like solve a problem that they have.
Totally.
So like if you position yourself in a way that you're like, I solve this problem, like our problem was that there's no markets that are catered towards, you know, younger girls or demographics or whatever. Especially even to take it a step further, there's no markets that are really accepting younger vendors and entrepreneurs.
That's a big one.
So because everybody's so established, like when you have markets that have been running for 10 plus years, they're pretty locked in with the vendors that they have.
That's true.
It's really hard to get into them. Like I've been on the wait list for Gilbert Farmers Market for like since I started my business.
Yeah.
I'm still on the, you know, because they're so locked in and those vendors are great. You know, they got the people that they know are reliable and trustworthy.
Yeah.
But there was no one who was like willing to take a risk on a lot of young entrepreneurs at that time. And those, you know, vendors decided to take a risk on us when we were super new. So the people that we ended up partnering with and really stick with that 60%, you know, coming back every market is the reason why I think we're kind of hitting the mark differently in a category that I feel like we kind of made on our own. The like younger, you know, girly,
Gen Z,
brand new. Yeah. So you just got to find the problem and be the solution.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I love that. Well, Valley Girl makes me feel really young because technically I think I'm a millennial, but you're a Gen Z. So
we keep you young.
You keep me
you on your toes.
Okay, so we're getting closer to the end. And I just want to say how excited I am for Valley Girl and just everything that is happening. It's really fun to work with a brand that like has such a strong vision, but at the same time is so experimental, which I think that is why you're so successful, is like you're not just one way. You're very open to opinions, collaborations, and I'm just really excited. And congrats on your 1 year, which was last month?
October.
Yeah, last month.
Yeah.
So 1 year old.
I'm already like 3 months ahead. I'm like, where are
I
we
know,
moving?
right? Yeah, and then we'll be 1 year with H&H in May. So that'll be exciting as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so to close things off, I have a few little closing questions. What does being a Valley Girl mean to you now compared to when it all started?
I think like being a Valley Girl at the time when I started all this, like I love the name. It's my sister and I have always been compared. We have family in California. I think I've really tried to like pull it back, but
we love LA.
No, I know. Right? But it's always like, oh, you talk like such a Valley Girl. Like you you do this like a Valley Girl, this. And it was something that my sister and I were compared to like a lot. Which made sense because our family was from there. But it kind of had like a negative augmentation to it. And I was like, but I love, like, that's so cute, you know? So I think starting it, being a Valley Girl was just like, you know, I'm hot, I'm fun, I'm, you know, going shopping, I'm getting my coffee and all that. But I think as we've gotten to know more Valley Girls, really, it's become like, how compassionate can you be? How, you know,
And where did that come from?
just meeting people, honestly. I think it was really apparent when one of our videos went viral and people were in the comments being like, I would love to go, but I don't have like a ton of friends to go with, or my friends wouldn't want to do this, or I don't have friends to go with. And almost immediately, before I could even respond, and like, you know, I'm pretty quick to do the responses, girls were already making their own threads in the comments of like, I'm gonna go, like, this is the time that I'm going. And then like just having like the girls just show up for other girls who are saying like, I don't have friends to go with. And like, screw that, I'll be your friend to go with. Like, we'll go together. If we both just want to collectively go to this event, then we'll go together as girls, you know?
What I just had an epiphany that like your brand is such a juxtaposition of it all. And I think it plays into the chaoticness that, like you said, the Valley Girl could be so you can't sit with us.
Yeah.
But the brand itself is so community driven.
Yeah.
And I think that that's the fun part. That's the new evolved girl's girl. I think back in the day in the 2000s, it was glamorized to be the mean girl. It was glamorized to be Regina George.
Yeah.
Whereas now we're so over that. We're so like, ew, who do you think you are vibes, and more community driven. So I think that like, I just had a moment of like, oh my God, like the brand is a huge juxtaposition. And I think that that's why we have so much fun with it, because we do play into what the Valley Girl would normally be. And we play into that like nostalgia of it all.
Yeah, like the character of it.
Yes, but the feeling and the message behind it is driven, come as you are, everyone's a Valley Girl, come be friends and like support each other basically. So
girls being girls.
I love that. Oh, okay. I just had a cute little moment in my head. I love that for me. Okay, what do you want every girl in Arizona to feel when she walks into a Valley Girl event?
Welcomed. I think as soon as you step in and it's like the business, you know, the business owners are happy to see you. They're just happy that you're there. They're just happy that you're choosing to spend your Sunday with them. So welcomed. I want you to have fun. I want you to like do the Pilates class. It burns. I want you to feel a little bit of burn, but I want it to be like that you left feeling like your cup is more full than when you arrived. And just like feeling like you really spent your Sunday just like supporting other people, getting praise back from people that, you know, are just happy that you're there. You know, I just want you to feel like just happy that you're there. Enjoy your time. We do a lot of work. We put in hours so that the experience feels like you've almost been there before. It feels like you kind of know these people as soon as you walk in of like, oh, I saw them. And then you can tell a vendor, I saw your stuff on social media. Like I came here so that I could come shop with you. Like as a business owner, that is gold. That's why we keep it going. I could have a horrible day at a market and someone can come up to me and be like, hey, I saw your campaign shoot for this. Like that's how we found you. And that just, it makes it all worth it.
I agree. I think that as a vendor, chatting with people is like the funnest part. Like even when like sometimes people will show me their Pinterest board of like what they're going to an event and like they have, I'm like, oh girl, let me be your stylist, or just like fun conversations with vendors about whatever it is they're selling, or even just about your day, anything you guys can relate on, you know, it really does make a difference, I would say.
Super fun.
Okay. If you could give an up and coming Arizona creative some advice, what would it be?
I think this is going to sound cliche, but just be like deeply rooted in your why. Like, why are you even doing this? Understand like what drives you to continue to produce whatever you're producing, whether it's art or, you know, you're a boutique or whatever, you're a market coordinator. Why are you putting your energy into this? What is it that like wakes you up in the morning? And, you know, I think the biggest thing would be, and I wish I had told myself this earlier when I was doing Valley Girl, like trust your gut. Your gut most likely knows exactly what you should be doing, and other people's opinions do matter. You know, especially like an outside pair of eyes on whatever you're doing, but really just like go in with what you think is right, and just like people like starting out, just make it exist. It can be good later, you
I
know, but you
love
just
that.
gotta
That's
get it out
so
there.
true.
Yeah. So if you're a perfectionist, I even struggle with this, and a lot of my friends struggle with this. That like it doesn't have to be perfect as soon as you put it out. No one's gonna expect it to be perfect as soon as you put it out. Only you're expecting that.
Right.
But the evolution of like where you started to where, you know, whether you make it big, whether you open a storefront, whether you run your own events, whatever, people like being in that in between of like seeing where you were and just like growing with you,
Totally.
you know? And that would even go into my second piece of advice: grow with the people who want to grow with you.
Yeah.
Don't force anybody to stay around to grow with you.
Yeah.
Do your thing, take your supporters, you know,
Yeah.
take your flowers. You know, if someone throws dirt on your name, use it to grow.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. So you kind of mentioned it a little bit earlier, but I'll give you a chance to talk about it more now. But you've obviously made the pink market a cultural moment, I would say. What is next for the Valley Girl brand?
A lot. There's so much I'm really excited. It's a lot of moving parts. It's a lot of just work and all of that on top of like regular market promotion. But like we're working on merch. That's
Which
gonna
I'm
be
so
really
excited about.
I think it's gonna be really cute. Done tastefully too.
Yes.
So we're gonna do that. And then Valley Girl Times coming out with its first like issue on December like 15th.
Okay.
That's gonna be really fun. And then
Do you want to plug how people can get that, like a story in there, or what's the process of that? What's that going to look like?
of like being in?
Being featured.
I think we're mostly running it off of the Valley Girl Times Instagram right now. We have a couple of links, one for vendors if you want to be, you know, included in that. That's just another way to promote your small business, but just like in real life. And other things too, like how shoppers and like just the Valley Girls can be part of it, is we have like anonymous tip lines that you can.
Cute.
So like if you're having like friend trouble, boy issues,
Oh my God,
like
I
we're gonna
love
have a
that.
whole
A little
like
Carrie
anonymous.
Bradshaw moment.
Yeah, exactly. We're trying to make it very like Sex in the City.
You have the hair.
I'm already there. But yeah, it's gonna be really fun. Just like the anonymous, like asking questions, the how-tos.
Yeah.
Our first one has a really like cute, cheeky like how-to that I'm super excited about. We have a couple girls also who are like graduates from ASU, like journalism, that are writing for us. So
That is so cool. I'm so
think
excited.
It's gonna be really, really fun. I don't want to say too much because then it like spoils it, because it's only like it's a very short read. It's like a 5-minute read.
Okay.
But yeah, there's gonna be like
Yeah.
so
And I
much
think
in it.
too, for like the how-tos in the future, obviously when it evolves, is just entrepreneurship, like, you know, getting people excited to maybe be a vendor for the first time and how to do that, or just continue to promote
And
in
I
that
think
way.
Valley Girl too makes it really easy if it's like, hey, I've never done this before. I've never done promo. We'll help you out the best we can, you know, whether it's branding. I've helped a ton of vendors with branding.
Yeah.
But everybody is just willing to help.
Yeah.
And just wants to see everybody else succeed, because if you're succeeding on a market, it probably means that your neighbor or me or whoever is also succeeding, because it's just, that's how you build the community. If you're happy to be there and you're excited to see the shoppers and you're excited to just be part of that Valley Girl community, it gets around, like it's contagious, that like good vibes. And then, you know, it's just it's a good time overall. But yeah.
Okay, yay. And then the last thing is there any little Easter eggs you want to leave?
I think Valley Girl as a brand, always we're gonna have like our hearts in the markets. We're always those are gonna be very consistent coming 2026, especially with like our new venue and all of that good stuff. But I feel like there's gonna be an announcement very soon on like a bigger event that we're gonna be doing.
Okay.
That's gonna be really fun. It's not gonna be like we're gonna have vendors and all that good stuff. But
I think I know, but I don't know for sure.
yeah, It's gonna be super close to where we are right now.
Okay.
If that like helps
Okay.
anybody in proximity. It's gonna be a little bit different. Same vibes, same
Okay.
community, same like message,
Okay.
but
Different.
it's gonna be
Okay, I'm excited.
I don't know. I think that's all I can say without.
Okay,
without
yeah. Don't give us everything.
Yeah.
And then just a message you want to give your audience.
Come to our market on November 30th.
Most importantly.
Right.
Okay. Awesome.
No, just that we're really excited to like continue doing what we're doing, and we love all of our Valley girls, and we're really excited to see where this goes, and we're so thankful that people continue to come and build with us, whether it's someone who participates in the market or just like comes to shop. Just bring your friends and your family, like that means the most to us. That's why we do it. So we're just super thankful.
Yeah.
And we couldn't ask for better Valley girls. So
Yay.
yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming on our first podcast.
Yes, thank you for having me.
This was so much fun.
I know. I'm
and
super excited.
I think Valley Girl has so much value to give that you should totally do a full season of a podcast. Maybe this could be a new thing. I mean,
imagine this set up like at a market.
Yeah.
Sick.
That would be sick. I don't know about the audio, but we can make
tiny
that
mics.
work.
We could do more tiny mics.
Yeah. But yeah, awesome. So thank you so much. And I'm excited for everybody to see everything. Yay. We did it, guys. My butt hurts.
I know. I hope I talked loud enough. God damn.